Super Hogs are one of the most underrated troops in the game, but if used correctly, they can crush bases like it's nothing, due to how easy and strong they are. So let's break down the easiest and the best Super Hog army at Town Hall 14, along with an example at the end of the video, to help you crush any base with this army. So this army is broken up into 3 parts. Step 1 is the RC charge, Step 2 is the hero dive, and lastly Step 3 is the Super Hog smash. So let's go over each step one by one, so that you understand all 3 steps with detail. So to start off the attack, we want to use a short Royal Champion charge. This will be using 5 invisibility spells, and we mainly want to set up the pathing for our hero dive with the charge. Before I go over how to execute the charge properly, let's talk about the hero equipments needed for this step. So the Electro Boots is your go-to equipment when it comes to RC charges, as its passive DPS to the surrounding buildings will be crucial in the charge, as it even allows you to turn defenses invisible and get much more value with the charge. So this is a must-have epic equipment for this step. And alongside the Electro Boots, you want to use the Rocket Spears. This will be used before the RC charge, to take down defenses from a distance before using your invisibility spells. This is especially useful when there is a layer of outside defenses that can divert the pathing of your RC. It also provides a lot of passive DPS to the RC, which speeds up the charge and allows us to get even more value with it. And as for the Royal Champion charge, after you run out of the Rocket Spears, you want to turn her invisible every 4 seconds. This will keep her moving between defenses while staying invisible. Also, don't be afraid to turn defenses invisible, as the Electro Boots will finish them off, which allows us to get a lot more value with the charge. And after we use all of our invisibility spells, we will simply recall her out. Now this is where step 2 begins, as you have created enough funneling with your RC charge, so it's time to send in your king and queen along with the log launcher into the base to get value and extend that funnel. Also make sure to use an ice golem in front to tank for your heroes. And for the most part, the log launcher will be able to open up the walls into the core of the base and damage everything in the core. And as for the Barbarian King, he will be using his Spiky Ball and Earthquake Boots combo, which you mainly want to use in the core of the base to open up walls and do a ton of damage around with its Spiky Ball. You also have 2 Druids with this army, which you mainly want to use after your king goes down to support the Archer Queen. And as you use your Druids, you want to press the Queen's ability. She will be using her Magic Mirror and the Action Figure combo, as the Druids will be able to heal all 3 of your queens and the Giant, which allows them to get even more value before they go down. Now with solid funneling set with both the RC charge and the hero dive, it's time to send in your Super Hog Riders to clear out the back end of the base. So we want to send in all of our Super Hogs, the Apprentice Warden, our recalled Royal Champion, along with the Grand Warden from one side. The Apprentice Warden will buff the HP of all of your troops and keep them alive longer. You also have 1 heal spell with this army, which you want to use early on, before using your Grand Warden's ability. And as for the Grand Warden, he will be using the Eternal Tome with the Healing Tome. This combo will give enough protection for your Super Hogs to keep them alive throughout the attack, as the Healing Tome will keep your Super Hogs healed up near full HP throughout the attack. And as for the Royal Champion, her Electro Boots will be able to clear skeleton traps with ease, as well as any enemy heroes, to keep your Super Hogs moving without any problem. And as long as you have some cleanup troops like minions or wizards, you should easily be able to crush any base without any problem. So now that you understand the basics of this army, here is the army comp that I recommend using for Town Hall 14 players. And now let's give you a visual example on how this army works, to help you understand it better. So to start off the attack, we want to use a short Royal Champion charge. And we will use her Rocket Spears early before we start using our invisibility spells. This allows us to get more value and create a solid funnel. And after the Rocket Spears expire, we will start turning her invisible every 4 seconds using our 5 invisibility spells. And we want to continue to do this until we run out of our invisibility spells. Also, don't be afraid to turn defenses invisible, as the Electro Boots will finish them off, which allows us to get a lot more value with the charge. And after we use all of our invisibility spells, we will simply recall her out. So with a solid funnel set on one side, we want to use our king and queen along with the log launcher to dive into the base. Make sure to use a few troops like baby dragons to make funnel for them, so that they don't walk on the outside. The log launcher will be able to open up the base and give your heroes access into the core. And as you go a little bit deeper into the base, you want to use your king's spiky ball and earthquake boots to provide a ton of damage around. And after the king goes down, you want to use your 2 druids to support the archer queen. And this is where you want to use the queen's ability along with a rage spell, as the druids will be able to heal all 3 of your queens and keep them alive longer. And with a solid pathing set for your super hogs, you want to use all of your super hog riders, the recalled royal champion, apprentice warden along with the grand warden, to clear out the back end of the base. You also have 1 heal spell with this army, which you want to use early on to protect your super hogs from any incoming splash damage. And as you go a little bit deeper into the base, you want to use your grand warden's ability to protect all of your troops and heal them back up, as this will give your troops enough protection and healing to stay alive throughout the attack. Just make sure to use some cleanup troops like minions to avoid time fails. And overall, this is a very easy, strong, and reliable attack strategy at this town hall, that you should have no problem wrecking any base with this army. With how strong and easy super hogs are, you should now have a fun time crushing every base with them. And if you enjoyed, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more attack strategy guides coming in the future. With that, I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.